Nobody can take me down. My health is too high. Take me down. Nobody can take me down. Can't do it. Take me down. Nobody can take me down. My health is too high. Take me down. Nobody can take me down. Because in the front there's no way that anyone's passing through. Because how they taking damage. So what are you gonna do? Because I'm walking past your whole team and heading straight after you. Because I'm tower diving all I want. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So gold's only a win away, and this seems like an easy game. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Our mid just said his pizza came, and now he's standing AFK. Whoa, oh, 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 oh.
Hey Tally, I'm in the channel. I'm gonna be down here,
Coming back.
and Rick's gonna finish the feedback, and he'll come into the cast soon. So I'm just gonna start on my own for a little bit.
Well, the thing is that he's still got some other people with him that
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I'll go in and have a wee chat with them.
yeah, I was gonna say just go and hurry him up, man. Hurry up, Rick. Come on, guys, stream viewers. Did Sprocky get banned off his first account? Is that why he switched onto his second account?
He's on his way presently. It'll just be one moment.
I've stopped the music for a second.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
Hello, Tally.
Are they moving into their? They've moved. Good. Okay. Start, guys. So far, guys. Are you okay with this? And you're enjoying it and everything?
Yeah, it's good. I think we're able to give a lot of really good feedback because we had multiple people.
I think I must admit I'm sorry, Ben, but Two Boots, lol. That is getting fucking uploaded to the lol fails, and I'm gonna make money off you. I'm going to make riot points off you. Yeah, who's got leaders?
This means I get to spectate the Champions Select this time.
Yes.
I don't.
Okay, don't worry, I'm going to talk about the Champions Select. So we're
Yeah,
in the
you
band.
can talk now. You can talk now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the band. So the first ban has not happened yet, but we're excited for the first ban.
Jax.
We're very excited for the first ban. There's going to be bans and shit.
Jax.
Oh, Jax,
Kale.
and then Kale. Purple team are a lot quicker on these bans than blue team.
They're like, we want rid of Skarner, we want rid of Yasser, we want rid of Kale, we want rid of this one, that one, that one.
LeBlanc's out, and Elise. Elise is a good ban. Elise is really
I'll
strong
split
at
the money,
moment.
Ben. Don't worry, I'll split the money, man. Two boots, you have 2 feet. I can't argue with 2 feet. You have 2 feet. You bought 2 boots. It's logical.
Tally,
What?
can I borrow your permissions on TeamSpeak? Post that from me, but like my name on the end of it. Because loads of people still had questions for me.
Oh,
Stu, but Stu's not useful.
What the fuck are you?
I can't post in like the whole TS thingy, you know what I mean? You can.
The
Okay.
Olaf pick has come out.
The Olaf pick. Bit off meta. He's a bit weak at the moment due to nerfs
Olaf.
quite a while back.
Where's the
Yeah,
Olaf pick?
Tally, can you chuck at the end of that message that they can add me as well to ask questions? But yeah, Olaf's kind of weak since the introduction of a lot of new champions with
Oh,
jump.
sorry. I know I'm getting. Hold on. I'm getting shouted at because the Poro is in the way.
Poro's
They
in the way
can't
of
see
the
the
ban.
bans.
Move the Poro. Move the Poro.
There we go. Poro's been
well.
moved.
Jax. It'll be in ye or the bans. Actually, it'll be ye.
My Udi are gone.
Like my
Aw.
typing is. I am very sorry to anyone in the chat who has to experience my typing. It is absolutely atrocious. There will be very much
I'll
random
do the
letters.
chat. I'll do the chat. You speak.
I will genuinely spell words with random Z's in them. It will happen at some point. So I am really sorry about this. But yeah, the Udyr's out. There's a Zed Fiddle. The Fiddle has a teleport attached to him, which is very interesting. What do you think about that, Rick? Do you feel like teleport in the jungle's strong in the current meta? Or do
I
you
feel like we have a Fiddlestick, though I'm not sure how this pick's going to go. There are a few players that can play Fiddlesticks, and he can be used to great effect. The only problem is possibly picking a jungle Fiddlesticks with no escape into Udyr. That is near certain death if the Udyr's got any sort of man about him at all.
The thing
Yeah.
is, I know personally that Tornado plays Fiddlesticks really well. In fact, he plays it support mainly, so he has got a big advantage in terms of he knows Fiddlesticks really well.
Well, the thing is, you say that, but if he plays it support mainly, there is a huge difference between playing this Fiddlesticks support and playing this Fiddlesticks jungle. Fiddlesticks jungle is one of the hardest junglers out there. He can be super effective. You can carry so many games as Fiddlesticks, but you need
Because
to be
solo queue
really
games, not the
on
best
point.
vision control. If you've got one of those sneak ults out of some bush, you can destroy a team fight.
What I
Yeah,
will
even-
want to point out, I mean, I don't know if you guys agree with me, I fucking believe this. The Skarner ban is not aimed at Harry playing it from last game. Skarner is OP as hell at the minute.
Super strong right now.
From what I heard from the
I
chat, from
always
talking
ban
to
him.
the lads, it was not a targeted ban.
I always ban Skarner. Just to clarify, I always ban Skarner now because that bastard is vicious. The amount of times I've been like 4-0 and the bastard's come and ulted me into my tower and just killed me repeatedly.
Yeah. Like, I've
He's
played
so
a little
OP.
bit of Skarner since his rework. He is very strong right now. He duels really well. He has a lot of damage into the late game, and you don't need to itemize damage on Skarner. That's the thing. You have damage without itemizing damage. It's back to one of the old problems that Zac used to have when he was very, very strong. He had damage, but he didn't build for it. Skarner's very much the same right now. You generally only need about one damage item to do damage on Skarner. You can just get the Triforce, and you're super duper strong. It's great.
That Yorick top lane pick?
Out of
Yorick
meta?
it's out of meta, but the thing is,
I wouldn't pick it blind. That's a big thing. In this current meta, because he's not that strong, I wouldn't pick it blind.
well, the only
it's not
advantage
blind,
you
is
get
it now?
with picks like this, well, it's not blind.
No,
now,
as
but
in
it
he
was.
couldn't see the enemy top.
You
No, I
technically picked
suppose,
it blind,
yeah.
you couldn't see the Renekton. The thing about picks like Yorick is not a lot of people know what Yorick does anymore. Like, they roughly know what his spells do, but actually guessing and gauging Yorick's damage and his durability is hard. I can't do it. I honestly know if I went up against the lane Yorick, I would probably make a mistake.
Yeah,
because
I
don't
wouldn't
know his
don't know how
damage.
to play into him.
Yeah, no one does right now. So things like that can actually give you an advantage. Don't just have to pick meta champions, but if you're gonna pick something that is theoretically weaker,
Is Deathalicious the AD carry for this game?
Yes, he is for now, because the other AD carries that had signed up disappeared, so...
So I'm not sure if he intentionally picked that, but if he did, he's a genius. One beautiful thing about Yorick, he can clone your AD carry. So if you've got a big AD carry late game, like Trist, Vayne,
Trist,
Cog,
Kog'Maw, these
stuff
kind of
like that,
champions.
you can have 2 AD carries, and Renekton and Udyr will cry up being rapid fired from the grave by Trist.
Yeah, and it means that even if these big bruisers get on your AD carry, there's when the clone's actually up, it's dealing damage, and it deals good damage to begin with. When she revives, she has another period to deal damage. It means that you can get a lot of damage out of these fed AD carries, or even Tristana doesn't need to be fed. She can just be somewhat farmed and have decent items and still puts out really good damage from an exceptionally safe range. And she has a lot of self-peel as well with the ultimate. That had a range buff just one patch ago. It now scales with her range, which means she can clear them from a long way away if she wants to. What about the mid lane matchup? I think that's a Syndra versus Zed matchup. I know you actually play both of these champions somewhat, so I want to know what you think about this.
What, sorry?
Syndra versus Zed, you play both of the champions.
Syndra
What do you
versus
think about
Zed.
this matchup?
Okay, so naturally, Zed has a disadvantage in this lane due to range harass from Syndra. However, Zed has much more room to outplay Syndra's skill kit than Syndra has versus Zed's. For example, with Zed, you've got a lot of chance to dodge the stuns, dodge the pulls just with shadow dashing, like using the mobility you have. Syndra also relatively squishy. If Zed can get a good engage where he dodges her E or makes her E wasted, Syndra's probably going to die. Because although Zed got nerfed, his early lane phase is a bit bad, his mid game is a bit meh, his late game is beast, but he's still got that good lane pressure. Because the passive's good damage, the Q's good harass, the E's got a slow on it.
Yeah, what do you feel about the summoner spells in this mid lane? Because we were kind of shy on the mid lane last game, so I really want to talk about it a little bit.
So it's
The
Ignite
Ignite's on
versus
both sides.
Ignite.
Do
Honestly,
you like the Ignite on Syndra?
on Syndra, I'm a bit dodgy on it. If she's confident, I suppose. For example, 1 to 5, Syndra's got that massive advantage.
Yeah.
Probably
Can
Zed
I
won't have a
be
build.
quite rude for a second? I've just realised today is Sprocky's birthday,
Who's
Happy
birthday?
birthday, Sprocky!
so we have to say a big happy birthday to Sprocky.
I'm talking to him in chat anyway.
Yeah, well, it's his
Happy
birthday today.
birthday.
According to the website, I don't know if that's trolling me, but today is Sprocky's
Probably
birthday.
is.
So happy birthday, you little cunt.
Happy birthday, Sprocky. Apparently you're a cunt. You seem alright.
You knows I'm only messing, but happy birthday, mate. I hope
love
you're not
you
too
long
drunk.
time, Sprocky. You know cunt. I love you long time.
That's big praise from Stu, actually.
Yeah, I know, that's like the nicest thing I've said to people in the last year. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, so back to the Syndra Zed.
Back to the Syndra Zed.
Syndra, confident. 1 to 5, got the big advantage, got the big ability to pull out kills, because Zed is kind of weak. Probably will have Bilgewater Cutlass. I would have it around level 5. I wager he's going to have it 6 or 7. Bilgewater Cutlass can change the fight, because it allows Zed to stick to Syndra. Before that, Syndra's just got a big advantage in lane.
Yeah,
So the Ignite can push kills. The only problem, past that, you've got no defense for the Zed engages.
The real Kane's saying, I tend to blow Ignite early to force them out of lane. Please don't call me an idiot.
Ooh.
We
Okay,
might
so
go-
this
it just
is...
depends how it plays out. Like, there is certainly ways you can use your Ignite very early to force people out of lanes. It is doable, and it can be viable. It's really going to be
it's
about
not
how
a,
we
not a terrible
orchestrate it.
move. If you, for example, can get 2 waves stacked in the middle, get an engage onto her, ignite her, make her back and lose 2 waves, I'm willing to trade Ignite for 2 waves. That's perfect. Fine. She
Then
loses massive amount of XP, massive amount of farm. You've got items on her, you've got XP on her. You ding 6 before her, you win the lane.
Yeah. The thing is, it's about how and when you do these things. It can actually be used to great effectiveness. It's not always a bad idea. I remember years ago, it'd be season 2 at this point. There was a pro game I watched where it was Dyrus in the top lane, and he walked into lane, and the first thing he did was ignite his opponent, and then he threw an axe at him,
Straight
he was
up.
playing Olaf, he ignited them. First thing he did, walked up, ignited them, just axe,
Throw an axe at them.
and they had to recall. It's either recall or blow all of your potions, and those are both huge advantages. You can actually do these kind of things very early. It's kind of a cheesy thing to do. It would not work against the same opponent twice, but you're not really going to face the same opponent twice, especially in like a solo queue setting. You can actually get away with these things every game if you're good at it and if you know how to do it.
Right, so Renekton versus Yorick matchup's going to be interesting. Early game Yorick will have problems. He's got mana issues, which
Renekton's
will
got
eventually
high
lead to sustain issues. High sustain on Renekton, no resource cost technically.
And the Ignite.
Besides
the Ignite
Fury.
is on Renekton, which is
So lane
gonna give him
presence
a
is
lot
with
of pressure.
Renekton. Definitely with Renekton.
What about this bot lane? This is what we play.
This
and we are
is
the bot
our
lane.
domain.
Yeah, so Twitch Nami versus Trist Morgana. I feel like the Twitch Nami has the trade advantage in this situation.
Has the trade advantage for the first few levels.
Yes, definitely. Morgana's obviously got a really good trade when she gets her ult. Same with Trist. That's a lot of burst damage that they can put down. If Morgana
Also,
hits a couple of good bindings, there can be a lot of damage put down onto Nami. Or Twitch.
Whatever.
Twitch would die.
You
to the
only
binding.
ignite when you only ignite first when it's used to give 5 AP or AD, not anymore.
That was
So
one of
it's
the
kind of
advantages.
point-
That was one of the advantages, but you can still do it in certain matchups.
I think at low ELO it's probably more useful and successful than probably higher ELO. I don't think in Diamond 1 montage you can get away with doing that. But
Like, I understand
know.
what you mean about the 5 AD and AP, that it used to be a lot more important to give those stats. But against, this sounds really nasty, but against players who maybe panic a little bit more, when things like that happen, you can use it in a sort of mind games context, because a lot of the time at lower elo, if you ignite someone, they just collapse entirely and their brain just turns off and they don't realize that they can keep fighting you. And obviously, this cast is not to teach Diamond 1 players how to play the game, because Diamond 1 players, for the most part, know how to
Can play the game. It's
unless
genius.
it's Crepple. unless it's Crepple.
What is
You
your
can't
hate
play
for
the-
Creppo? He's
I
been
hate
performing
Creppo.
well this split.
Not like
No
Crepple.
Creppo. Right. As Tristana and Morgana level up, their burst becomes higher, but the Trist range also becomes higher, nullifying some of the effects Twitch can have in a trade. Twitch against high range is not the most fun experience in the world.
No,
Because
no,
obviously
definitely
you can ult to
Twitch,
clear the
Twitch
range gap,
in general
but
is
you
not
don't
the
have
most fun experience you've.
Twitch
I'm
is-
sorry,
Twitch
but
is fun as fuck.
I'm
Twitch is
sorry.
so
I
fun.
as a
Just
main
stealth in,
support.
like, sneaky, and fuck some bitches.
No, as a main support, if that thing is in my lane, I'm back in base because
As a
that
main
bastard
AD
fucking
carry,
hurts.
I'm offended you called it a thing. Just saying.
It's a rat. It's a little rat and it shouldn't be played.
I'm sorry, see when you
Twitch is
said that
beast.
thing, I thought you were actually referring to AD carries, that's how I feel about them. They're
No, I love my AD
cretinous
carries.
monsters.
I
They're
love
in
my
lane
AD carries. They
just to
carry
take
me.
my XP, and they mess
See,
up
she
my
loves her
nice,
AD carries. Why
tiny
don't you
ways.
show me love? Our duo's just falling apart, Stu.
Because you're in that lane just to take my XP, you mess up my
No,
lane.
I won't diss my AD carries because they carry me in lane. But yeah, some are bad.
Yeah, I
but
know
Twitch
the
is
feeling,
horrible.
Tally. I know the feeling. I do.
Couldn't carry a Tesco's bag, mate.
Well, no, they're really shitly designed, like you.
Look, you leave my 6 arms alone. If I had
That
legs, I'd
sounds like
kick you.
advantageous. Anyway,
No, if I had legs, I'd kick you.
right, so
Oh.
the jungle matchups I think will be big.
Kate's
If
in the
Udyr
game, isn't
plays
she?
this aggressively enough, he can really fuck with this Fiddlesticks.
Well, the thing
Like,
is, a lot of the
Udyr's
times
gonna
Syndra
clear
can
faster.
push at Zed in the early lanes. In the
And
early
that,
lane
with
phase.
the, even if you took the spells off both of them, she's got the range advantage. She's gonna get the push, man.
I do have to
Um,
make a point. Zigzoo is in the game. Zigzoo has a hamster for a computer. We do actually
I presumed
have.
it was shoveling coal to kind of run the
We
computer.
actually have started a fund on the front of the website called Feed the Hamster Fund, and we're trying to get 100 quid. We've already got 55 quid so far. So we're trying to get 100 quid so that we can give to her to put towards a new computer, because obviously when we play games like this, everybody's going to go for like a wank or make us under dinner or something in the middle of loading. So we're trying to hurry it up, and so anybody that can spare even a quid or whatever, get donating. Let's speed this up.
Please donate.
You
Still
can-
needs food.
We
We'll
can
die
buy a new
soon.
computer before she loads in. Yeah. Oh, we're in.
Okay, as I was saying, the Udyr versus Fiddlesticks. Udyr outclears, Udyr's faster, Udyr fights better.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, early lane pressure in terms of ganks is with Udyr
Is
as well.
gonna be with-
Fiddlesticks ganks are good, but they're a lot harder to set up than Udyr ganks. Because you need to get Fiddlesticks into range to start the gank, and with the fear range, that's quite hard.
And a lot of the time in this situation, being behind him is the preferable situation because now his fear goes away from him. So you're going to want to be coming round and getting behind the enemy rather than in some situations with certain champions like Elise, you can go from in front of the enemy, red buff them, and just cocoon them, and you can still get the kill. If
Oh, they're
Fiddle goes
going
in
for an
and fears-
invade. No, they're not.
Yeah,
They're not.
no, they're just pushing the wards. And this is a nice ward at level 1. I like this ward because it can give you some good vision of where the mid laner is going to position.
In terms of level 1 warding, although these wards are useful and you can gain some information, preferably, for example, with the group top lane, you have the Renekton, the Syndra, and the Udyr. You can take those three and take them to their red buff, and ward the red buff out to see where the enemy jungler starts. Because in 99% of cases, their bot lane will be bot lane, obviously, and so you won't be at disadvantages in terms of numbers.
Well, the thing is, I want
So
to
you
point out
take
here
three.
is there's actually the blue team with the Renekton, the Syndra, and the Udyr are very clustered together. They could actually be spreading out more. Obviously,
Yeah,
it
to
looks
cover.
like no one wants to be making. Oh, Udyr's actually. Yorick is actually.
Yorick's
winning
walked
this
in.
push. This
Got
is
some
actually
good
really
damage there.
bad. If you're going to do something like this and you're at risk of taking a lot of damage,
You
like
need to
that,
go earlier, because it's
Yeah.
140, he's not going to make it to lane in time. He's already got the disadvantage of being against the Renekton with the Ignite, so his early game's weaker. He does have the TP, but blowing the TP just to get to lane initially, because you've made a bad level 1 mistake, is such a massive disadvantage. Renekton, in terms of, because TP got nerfed in terms of cooldown, it's longer now, Renekton could walk into this lane, pop you, ignite you, and his Ignite would come back before you can TP back to lane.
Also, be
And that
careful
is
when
so
you're
big.
leashing for Fiddlesticks. Don't tank the buffs, and do not pick different directions to go into bot lane by. You can see here that Trist and Morg went in different directions. If Nami and Twitch had came in that river to poke their head in to see if someone was coming, Trist
Trist
would be
would
be
dead,
dead.
right now. Have to go together. Yorick's actually not TPing back to lane. He is at such a disadvantage. He's already lost 1 minion of XP. That's harsh. That's 3 minions are dead, and he's had not a bit of XP from any of them. He's
Right,
at a
Ren-
huge
Ren-
disadvantage right now.
Renekton's tried well to push the lane. He didn't quite do it as well as he could have. By about 247, I believe you can have put 2 waves into the enemy tower. He nearly did it. He did it quite well. He still denied. It's still an advantage. Wasn't perfectly done, but still well planned.
One thing to be careful of when you're pushing really hard like that is you need to make sure you still get the CS while you're pushing,
Yes.
because he is only at 5 CS, which for 2 waves, that is very poor.
I like the Nami pick from Zigzag, by the way. You can tell who've been following me in my support and stuff and know how strong I am with Nami because I've been pushing my teachings into the Kate. And Kate, who's playing Nami now, you'll see the little things she knows. Hopefully she's learned.
Well,
So-
I'm already angry about our starting item, so I hope that's
Yeah,
not
that
you.
ancient coin.
No, that
Yeah.
is me. That is me because there's 2
Oh.
ways to build Nami, and
Oh,
that is
no.
one of them.
No, there's
No.
not.
Yes,
Nah,
there is.
Sorry.
What you do, you get a
Unfortunately-
Spell Thief's Edge, you get Ebb and Flow, you walk up, you Ebb and Flow them, it hits them, then heals you. You laugh because you've out-traded them so incredibly hard because you've healed you whilst damaging them and they're confused and scared.
Yes,
Then you walk back
but
to lane
the
victorious.
up
Spell
until
Thief's Edge is-
recently, I only took Nami into team games, and Talisman of Ascension was more beneficial to my team at the time. That's why I started
Talisman of
that way.
Ascension, unfortunately, has a horrible build path.
But the thing is, now with the recent introduction of the Ardent Sensor, building the way I normally build my Nami, I don't need the cooldown reduction from Talisman, so that's why I've switched to Spell Thieves. Kate has been actually playing jungle a lot more and obviously hasn't been watching the changes with Nami and stuff. So
If
that's
you're
all
going
it
for the
is.
Ardent Sensor, I can see some sort of build path there. Personally, I wouldn't go for the Ardent Sensor, so
Yeah, the
we
Ardent,
kind of disagree on
I
that.
want to put this on stream. Ardent Sensor is not a good item. Ardent Sensor is a very poor item. It has almost no statistics that support values on it. Supports value resistances, they value HP, they value cooldown reduction, but you can get that in other places apart from the Ardent Sensor. If you want an item to buff your AD teammates, the Zeki's Herald is the way to go. It's not the best item in the world, but it is by far and away better
I've
than
never
Ardent
ever
Sensor.
seen. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't agree, and I'm probably talking closer to these guys ELO. You know, Ardent Sensor is a massive thing because you rely so much on your
I
ADC
promise you it's
at
not. 25 attack speed is a dagger and a half.
25% attack speed for 6
It's
seconds.
a dagger and a half.
Yeah, but it's
The dagger and
still
a half,
it's
and my
still
dagger
a
doesn't
massive
run out.
boost to your ADC.
It's not. It's
And
not.
it also
It's
can
not,
with
Luce.
Nami, her W bounces, so you can buff 2 targets at the same time. Not to mention the speed increase you get as well.
Oh,
Get the speed
oh,
increase
And the
Renekton
and
heal.
could've finished that, Yorick.
With
Get the
trips
speed
on
increase
top
and
is
the heal
OP.
without the Ardent Sensor. Ardent Sensor gives you no personal statistics. You have ability power. You're not using ability power. You have mana regen. You already have that from the chalice that you're building to get your Mikhail's Crucible.
Well,
When are
I
you
think
actually
it's
finding
personal
this Ardent
preference,
Sensor
but
in your build?
But that's
Where-
why she started Ancient Coin, because that's the way I built because of Talisman, and obviously with the recent changes,
Unfortunately,
I've
the
changed
problem with
as well.
Talisman is it has a bad build path. Talisman.
I think
you
everything
build-
has a bad build path now. Everything is. I mean, Mikhail's. Why did they do that to Mikhail's? I mean,
because
it was.
Mikhail's was too strong.
Yeah, but it.
Yeah,
Mikhail's
for the
been
price
built
what it gave, it was incredible.
Every game.
That was a really bad
Um,
gank from Hariola there. Just running into lane and running out it wasn't worth.
Interesting tactic by Tornado Mech. He cleared earlier Renekton's ward with the sweeper trinket, but then didn't come back. I don't see the point of that. If you're going to sweep a lane, you sweep it, you leave, you come
And you
back,
come
and
back.
you gank. You got to do something. If you want to start the sweeping instead of the ward, you do something with it.
Yeah. Definitely.
In my opinion, the Udyr hasn't been in enough face of
And
hasn't
Fiddlesticks'
been in
face a
Fiddle's
lot.
jungles enough.
That was a nice play
also
by
needs to
Nami
get
as
in.
well there.
This is a very late recall by Udyr. He's recalling, he has 26 CS and he only has his machete. In the jungle, you need to recall a lot quicker than that. You want to get your second tier jungle item quickly because it does improve your clear speed drastically. It'll improve the health that you clear on drastically. And it will just make things a lot easier for
I'm
you.
not sure I agree with the quill coat for
No, it's not ideally the item. you want.
it's still.
Yes, I would go the Quill Coat.
Yeah, I like the Crocut personally, the regen.
No, I don't. I'd go the Wriggles. I'd go the
Wriggles, the machete, Madrid's razor, Wiggles lantern, yeah.
Sorry. The only reason you would ever go the Spirit Stone route is if you're going the Wriggles and Spirit Stone build, which is a very
The
specific
Madstone build, the Trick 2G build.
for a very specific situation where you want to power farm, and you should end up with your Feral Flare by around 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Twitch has put his ward out, and he's actually trying to stealth back in. I think he actually did that inside.
He's gonna get
range,
disengaged,
but
he's
it's
gonna get
not
disengaged.
He's not on a tryst.
Well, that's still a lot of damage he's dealt to her. He did waste
yeah.
a little too much time for that, though. If he's able to
Unfortunate.
use that
Might get
control-
hit. There we go. That's
Yep.
a good gank.
the gank
Solid
comes
gank.
back in by York.
No ward coverage, particularly.
Why is Harry
by
trying to
York.
take on the ghost? Like, seriously.
Uh,
He's like, I want to kill the ghost too. If it-
Unless you're going to die to the ghost, you don't fight the ghost.
No.
You just try and run to it. If you can't run away from it, then you can both try and fight it and kill it before it kills both of you. But most of the time, you just walk away from the ghost and don't let it annoy you too much. That was good because he cleared the wards and he came back before it was available again. Or he came back knowing that it was actually in the tri-bush, sorry. That's my mistake, it was actually in the tri-bush. But hopefully he knew that Renekton had communicated to him that the ward had been put in the tri-bush, and
Now, ideally, Fiddle should be telling bot lane now. Let them push right back, and he should be waiting in their tri-bush.
No,
for his
I disagree
engage.
completely. I disagree
I
completely.
disagree
You
a
tell
lot.
Trist, you tell Trist to push. You tell her to push hard. Fiddlesticks gets in the first lane brush. You reset the wave into the middle. Fiddle jumps in and kills one.
Oh, I suppose that's another way of doing
Twitch
it, yeah.
is actually going in here.
Oh, the
the
Nami
timing
engage.
was
Oh, that was
very,
nice,
very
nice. Right, punish
actually
Morg. She's out of place. Yeah. No.
Trist came back in there. Twitch should have turned on that Trist.
Yeah.
First to die.
Um,
Especially considering he still has Rattata. I don't
Yes.
think he has the mana for it, however.
one
He
of the
doesn't have
things
the
in
mana
this
for it.
bot lane is there should have been a recall by someone a long time ago. Everyone.
One
is
thing
out
on the
of mana.
map, there should have been a recall on a lot of the roles.
Yeah.
Mid stayed too long. Fair enough, they were trading even, but if mid hasn't backed by the time they get their first blue buff, they probably stayed too long.
Yeah.
Bot lane can
Go
recall,
Cinder, go
and
Cinder.
they can get
Yeah.
their items straight off. They should be recalling, then come back lane stronger. on
Trist
the
has
blue
picked up a
team.
BF sword. Twitch is actually not recalled yet, or not bought yet.
Yeah, they should be.
bot,
The
yeah.
bot lane blue side should have recalled. I mean,
Find the
the
build
Nami
for
has
Cutlass.
now, and so yeah, and look, there's the items
Now,
coming
see,
through.
Twitch here has gone back. He's recalled. He's got the Bilgewater Cutlass and the boots.
Yeah.
A lot of the time you want to recall when you get the Bilgewater Cutlass. The ideal situation, if you're a Bilgewater Cutlass builder, is basically you get up to the point where you have enough gold for your Bilgewater Cutlass. Your lane opponent
they
will
have roughly even?
have as much gold as you at this point. I think this is what Rick's going to say as well.
Aaron, you don't.
And what you want to do is force them out of lane. If they're a BF sword, if they want to build BF sword, so if it's Trist, if it's Caitlyn, if it's anyone who wants to build the BF sword, you want to shove them out of lane.
I'm confused
much as
at the Syndra's Forbidden Idol. I'm not sure what what's
Build
going
for
for
the
the-
Morello's tome.
Yeah, Morello
so it's
no mono.
building.
He's actually missed out the Seeker's Arm Guard in this build, but the Seeker's Arm Guard into Morello's Tome is a really good build against an AD like Zed. Morello's Tome itself, as we spoke about last game, is an incredibly cost-efficient item.
Also,
and if you're
one thing,
not-
Renekton
Sorry.
has not backed yet.
Yeah,
he's got
he's
CS, he got First Blood, and he still hasn't backed.
Yeah, he could have a lot of gold. He could be building a Tiamat. He could be building parts of a Tiamat. He could be building a Sunfire Cape. He could be getting
The-
big items and be getting
The main thing
strong.
about this recall, he has not backed. He has First Blood, he has CS advantage. Without backing, he cannot capitalize on the advantage. He literally is giving Yorick time to get back into this lane by not backing, because he doesn't have any advantage on him. He's got
What
a
is, the
disadvantage on him
Udyr
'cause
should
Yorick's
not
back.
be there. The Udyr should be back in the jungle farming. They're not going to get the
No,
turret.
you can't-
I
you
think
can't
this
give
is
up
okay.
this XP.
No, look,
You
the,
cannot allow.
I was stupid going in for the melees because
Yeah.
he's going to get dove now. But
yeah, he should have just fucked
it's
off.
a
And,
fair enough decision to leech the XP, but only if you see the fiddle top. Because if he goes to leech that XP and he doesn't see the fiddle top, you're losing dragon.
Yeah.
Especially
You need to know where the
considering
enemy jungler is.
he's got the Nami Twitch on his side, so technically they have a bit more early lane presence, so he technically should have the dragons. Although
Uh-huh.
Fiddle can solo clear them. So
Well, at this moment, I think Trist has a lot of lane pressure because she has the BF sword instead of the bilge, and if they can pick full engages, not sustained in any fashion, like this, where Trist isn't taking any damage, the
Nice
BF sword
shield.
just gives more than the bilge. But if Twitch is able to abuse the lifesteal, abuse the active of the Bilgewater Cutlass so that he gets to stay in range of Trist for just that little bit longer to get off the couple of extra autos, the Bilgewater Cutlass can be really effective.
I
in
mean,
this
I don't know if you guys have noticed, has Morgana been capitalizing on her spell thieves with her E ability? I
The
don't think she
W.
has.
The W.
Is it W?
Yes, W is
The
the
tainted
tormented
Yeah,
soul.
W,
No,
sorry,
she
yeah,
has 3
W.
stacks of it right now, and she's not using the pool.
No, that's what
I
I'm
feel
thinking.
like
That's
Morgana
one point.
is spamming way too much. She's firing a lot of spells. She's a very low mana, and I feel like Morgana should not be getting to this sort of low mana.
No, I think as well she's not.
The Twitch is actually picking an engage here. No.
Good 1v1 kill by Renekton. Although he got the kill, in my opinion, I don't like this. I don't like this item build either on
Although she has
Renekton.
no mana.
Is he
Stu,
building
have you seen the
Sunfire?
Renekton's?
He's going
going
for the
Sunfire with
He's going
Ionian.
for the Lucidity boots. No, the Lucidity boots are just not effective on Renekton. You need durability boots. You
considering-
need the Merc treads. Tenacity is
Considering
such
he...
a
Oh
short
shit, that was a nice turnaround in lane by Syndra.
Well played.
Very well played. Very well played.
This is a bad TP by Yorick. He is... yeah. Oh, no. He gets there, but...
It's a bad
TPs like
TP,
that
Renekton's
are
got
very-
ult, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but
Oh no, the
no.
fiddle turn.
But the fear
He'll
isn't
still take
coming out.
Yorick,
There's
he'll
no
still take
fear.
Yorick.
Where's the fear?
No, they got it. They got him. That was
They
fine.
got him, but they lost Yorick because Fiddlesticks wouldn't fear.
No, I don't. I don't think he's understood that he can fear mid ulti.
Well, he was draining.
The Renekton item build, considering he is still technically dominating lane. Personally, I wouldn't go with the Sunfire first.
Why is
Tiamat
Rudy
Hydra.
going top?
At
And
least
go more
XP and keep the
offensive
tower.
item
It's a
build.
fair enough decision because it just keeps some advantage on Renekton's side. If they don't get the tower, Yorick doesn't get any gold for it.
If you don't lose the tower, they don't get the gold. Even keeping it alive on 1 HP is still beneficial for a period, because at some point they are going to have to commit the resources to take that turret. That's a fair enough decision. I feel like Fiddlesticks could be looking towards the Drake at these sort of times, especially if he knows
Especially
that
solo Drakes, because got the pink ward in position
Yeah,
for it.
they've
If you see,
got
you got the
coverage.
purple lane, purple team, sorry, pink ward in that little bush in the middle of the
So
river.
if Fiddle just brings one to the dragon, he comes down the blue ramp, puts it at the dragon, he knows
You get a
that he
blue
can't
pot
be
from
seen.
base on his next
Oh,
back. He's
listen.
got the needlessly large rod. He can solo it.
No,
Udyr's going to see this pink ward, hopefully.
no, he's
This
walked
is one
straight
thing.
past it.
Want
Why
to-
do people
especially
never
in the
check this
river-
bush?
Yeah.
Especially in the river, you want to be walking through bushes like that.
I mean, I can't
Because- 50
ping, but I'm shown on the map now. This bush that I'm showing, because obviously this is going to be uploaded. The bush that I'm showing now, where the pink is
a standard
always
pink
got a
ward.
pink in it. This tri bush on the blue side has always got a pink in it. This river bush by the blue side has always got a pink in it. This bush here by Dragon will always have a pink in it. Check these regularly.
Something in the top lane as well. Fair enough, you can be this extended and you can make it work without being dead and with dragging enough pressure top that you're useful to your team and not just giving away kills. However, you need the vision control, because look at this tower dive. If Fiddle was there, dead. Straight up dead. Just straight up dead.
It's not even a 1-for-1 trade, it's a 1-for-0 trade. You need to have the ward coverage around the red buff area especially, because that's where he's going to come from. Around the red buff and around your tri-bush.
The item build on Yorick, the blasting one. Interesting to see what that's going
Instead
into.
of the Mura mana, he's going for the
Seraphs.
Archangels.
Yeah, the Seraph's Embrace. I don't personally agree with this. Yorick doesn't scale that well off AP. His main scalings come from the AD. Even though some of his ghouls...
Hit one of his scales off of his ability power. It's his W ghoul has a 100% ability power scaling, I believe. I'm pretty confident that's correct. I will just check it now. though.
If I'm sure the
Yes.
ghoul also has the largest cooldown, however.
The W ghoul? Yes, it does. It has the largest cooldown. He has actually
definitely
decided to
the
max
AD is-
the W ghoul, which is not standard on Yorick. You really want to max the E ghoul because that gives you the sustain that you need. Also, you want to max the Q ghoul after that because it gives you the movement speed. I mean, we had a 1v1 tournament very recently in Solace, and you've seen Mecha using the move speed from the Q ghoul to quite a lot of effectiveness to kite around a lot of people and to stick on annoying champions. But yeah, so you definitely want to be maxing.
Got the gank in bot lane. Triss goes down.
Yep, but
It was a counter gank by
Tristan
Udyr, I think.
Fiddle, yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
counter gank
2
by Udyr,
kills
very
being
well
traded
placed.
over.
I'm gonna rewind that and check what happened, because I'll be honest, I didn't see.
That's
No,
what I
because
was
you're too
talking
busy
about,
BMing me in the chat. He's
I
arguing with
had
me in
no
the
point.
chat now.
I had no point threatening to murder you.
Right, the tidal wave. There we go. Trinket wards win the day. There's a trinket ward in the first lane rush. It sees Fiddlesticks. Nami picks the tidal wave, gets the tidal wave down. Fiddle's gone. Udyr comes in. Triss dead. Simple.
This
Vision
is
wins.
the vision control game. The vision game is so very important. It's one of the biggest things in League of Legends is playing the vision game properly.
That's when the thing is when we play. I mean, just normal games, and I mean, obviously I'm a main support, and if you go on that site, you know, the ward site that you can check how often you ward. Mine says I ward like ridiculously, and I need to probably stop. I ward like 87% better than everybody in the game because my wards are always on the map. And the amount of times I go, we've got no vision, guys. We've got no vision, and I keep shouting at these guys, and it's nice to see that. You know, especially the blue team, who I probably do play with a bit more, are starting to listen and realise, you know, this is why they're now dominating.
One thing that just happened, Renekton was at the double golems, Fiddlesticks found him, he flashed over the wall with Slice and Dice up. Slice and Dice does allow you to get over walls. You want to hold on to the flash as much as you can. Obviously use it if you're going to die and you can escape.
In this situation, Nami is leaving her AD carry to die. They are not picking coordinated trades. I mean, this was not a good trade by Fiddlesticks, right? He's going way too aggressive into a huge minion wave.
Which?
She'll be telling him off. She'll be telling him off. I know how she is. She's not an aggressive support.
That, even if not an aggressive support, that was stupid. Incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
I can see reasoning between why Twitch picked that fight, but the only thing I don't understand is how he picked that fight. He's got Ratatat up. He's got Nami. Let Nami do the engage, you rat-a-tat, you take them down. He picked the fight because he had the blade over the Infinity Edge route on Trist. Trist hasn't finished her Infinity Edge, Twitch has. But also one big thing, Blade versus Infinity Edge, in terms of power spikes, Blade spikes up when you get Blade. Infinity Edge needs the second item, for example the Static Shiv or the PD, to hit the power spike of damage. So if you've got the Blade versus an Infinity Edge user, you are going to win fights because you've got the power spike maybe 3,000 gold earlier than they do. Maybe 2,800, something like that.
This is based on you building a Static Shiv and not a Phantom Dancer. The power spike of Blade of the Ruined King comes at roughly 4,140 gold. That's your Blade of the Ruined King and your tier 2 boost. The Infinity Edge spike comes at closer to 8,000 gold. I actually think this might be based off Phantom Dancer. That's based on a double Doran's, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and boots. The numbers are something along those order, so that's a really big difference.
So in terms of power spike, if you roughly 300 per minute, I think that makes Infinity Edge's power spike at about like 12 minutes, and then Blades.
No, other way. Like the difference is 12 minutes, and you have 12 minutes of power spike before they do. Obviously, an Infinity Edge can beat a Blade of the Ruined King because you can get the RNGs. But Blade has the active, and you can use that to your advantage. You can use it to reposition.
The item builds on Renekton certainly is still a bit questionable.
The Black Cleaver is not a solid choice for Renekton.
I'm laughing because Delirio's BMing me in
choice.
chat.
The only problem, he's finishing it.
Yeah.
Like, he's going for the Black Cleaver finish so early. Oh, Zed's got the well roamed down. Oh, I think he's gone. Yep, Twitch is out. And once again, it's because purple team control the river. You got no wards in Tribush or River Bush from blue team, and here's Fiddlesticks. He did. I suppose they should have saw Zed coming, because I believe he came through mid the bottom side one, which does have a blue ward in it. And there's a blue ward on Dragon, however Zed could have got around those wards.
See, with Twitch and Nami dead, there really should be some sort of rumblings towards this Drake.
Definitely, you got Fiddlesticks. Trist is on good HP. Looks slightly DC'd or is waiting for Syndra to push up. That seems like a strange decision. Syndra's quite strong early. Picking fights as the AD carry versus a burst mage generally means you lose them. One thing, Renekton's doing quite well. Still keeping that push up, still keeping the lane dominance. He's got him 2 towers now.
Yeah, Yorick's TP'd in again here when Renekton is very much stronger. He's sliced actually away from him, which is obviously...
He's done that multiple times now, he needs to be careful of that. If he wants the fight, he needs to slice through, hit, wait till he runs around, then slice again. You can hold on to it for a good few seconds. That was a good stealth by Twitch into lane. Gotta know the enemy champion's ability. He just stealthed back into the lane, shot up Morgana, dead.
Right. Well, she has her exhaust up, she has her ult up, so if he runs into the lane and starts shooting you, you gotta be reacting to it. You can't just let him keep hitting you.
Oh, poor transfer, poor Real Kane.
Real Kane's actually not going to go down here because he had the Hex Drinker shield available.
Syndra does have the flash, and then
Syndra's going to flash. She should have ignited there. Should have seen that he had the Hex Drinker shield and knew that that's going to absorb some of her damage.
One thing I would point out is, I know they're pushing for Dragon at the minute, Fiddlesticks, yeah, he's playing with his blue, but if you look in mid lane, there's a lot of farm going to waste here. Now,
Yep.
one of them, they know Syndra's not in lane, they know Zed's not in lane, one of them should be abusing this farm in mid.
Well, I like the decision from the blue team to grab up the dragon.
Yeah.
That's a good decision. But yes, Fiddlesticks should be Fiddlesticks should know that this dragon's going on. The purple team should be aware of this dragon and be considering whether they can contest.
And once
it.
again,
so
there's
she
no
just
wards.
ran into
There's
him.
no wards for
Yeah.
the purple team. They
So
just
they
can't
just
see
walked
any of
in
this happening.
and had this
If
thing.
if they had a ward on dragon, they'd know they'd
It's
in the
nice
area.
escape from
that
death.
summoner heal was not
Yeah.
needed
The summoner he
by
was
the
on
Triss.
there.
That was just
Triss
silly.
has her ult. The ult can clear Udyr away.
If they could see
she's
the
jumped.
dragon, they'd know they're in the area. If they could see the river brush, they knew that they were
Udyr
coming
was
from them. There's
killing
just
them.
no vision.
Now,
Now,
Fiddlesticks
Renekton has
is
an
learned.
Renekton has an interesting choice now. A choice. 2 top towers are down. Okay?
Alright, this
Flash
is a
slice
very
dicing
aggressive
Yorick is
flash.
not the
This is
choice
very
I
aggressive.
expected, I'll be honest. Yep.
Yorick can just walk away now. He's put the slowdown. He's given himself the speed boost. If Yorick had
turned
actually
for some
elected to
strange-
pick up the tier 2
Because
boost,
Fiddle's coming. Fiddle's coming.
but
I don't think Fiddle can clean. With the Yorick Ghost, maybe.
Oh, he's going the
No,
wrong
he
way,
can
he's
also.
going the wrong way! Oh, Fiddle,
Doing Fiddle,
no.
there's the slice and dice through double golems. That was very well played. However, as I was saying, Renekton still has a choice now. Either the 2 towers on top or down. He can
And
sit
Triss is
top,
gonna go down
clear
in the bot
waves,
lane.
and just kind of carry on laning and just winning lane. Alternatively, he can get on the map. One way for the top laners to carry, if you beat your lane this hard, you start getting on the map. For example, Syndra's strong enough to deal with Zed, maybe trade 1 for 1. With Udyr, Zed goes down. With Renekton and Udyr, Zed goes down, then mid turret goes down, then a second mid turret goes down. You just use your resources to do something. Renekton's 7 for 2. He's a brick house, he does good damage. Even if, to some degree, if you're more organised in your team, you tell your jungler, you go top, you get XP, I'm being the jungler for a bit, be Renekton. Renekton's stronger than Udyr, Udyr can use the XP top, and it's not like Renekton's going to fall against Yorick, because he's 7 kills up.
Yeah.
You get on the map, you do something with your map.
The thing is, I also want to talk about in this bot turret, Triss just died. And she died
Yep.
because she was attempting to defend the turret on 300 HP against 2 people. You need to know when you have to leave the turret and just let it take damage. If they're going to damage it, they're going to damage it whether you're there or not. The only thing that's going to change is it's going to take
You're
damage
gonna die
and
with
you're
it.
going to die.
Yeah.
This is a very dangerous stealth in by Twitch. This is madness.
But
Morgana
this is-
should have just ulted him there.
Straight up,
he would
he
die.
should be dead.
He would have died. That was incredibly aggressive, and it should not be getting away with stuff like that. You can't just let your laner walk over you. There is a difference between being passive and being non-existent, and right now Morgana is non-existent. She's gone a Morello's Tome Root for some reason. This is not a solid item build. You
No.
do not want AP on supports, but
This
it
was-
does mean
oh.
that she does damage. The
Zed's
Syndra will
going
finish
down,
here.
tries a stun on it.
Yeah.
Not
Again,
bad damage, but not
again,
overextension with no
vision
wards.
control. The first tier turret is down, and they're gonna die.
One thing about the first tier turret in mid as well, it opens up the map massively.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, in this play, we have a massive gap in top lane, so it's not purely as relevant, but if you've just got the mid outer down, then the rest of the map opens, because their enemy mid laner will be playing at their inner turret, clearing waves, etc. Means your mid laner can go top and bot, because they're going to be further pushed up in terms of
Yep.
where they're on the map. So you can start pulling things out in terms of towers and kills. Also,
And it
that
also means
tower was slightly
if
dodgy,
you
but
push the wave up to the inner turret, you get vision of the enemy jungler as he moves from the wolves over to the top side of the jungle. And it means if
Yep.
you see him moving towards the top side of the jungle, you can make a play on the bot side, and you just know that he's nowhere near enough in position to react. Do these sort of things because you have the vision. The mid turret is so important in playing the vision game.
one thing also, in terms of AD carry item builds, Twitch. Now, the Blade into the Phantom Dancer is not a terrible idea. I can see why he's gone it, and there is a viable route to go it. If you are going an incredibly heavy team fight, like you want these team fights early game and you want them now, the Phantom Dancer is not bad. Gives you more kind of attack speed, more consistent damage. In a team fight is great. However, in solo queue, plus in a situation like this where they want to carry on laning, getting the Yumu's Ghostblade is just so much better. The attack speed buff is so much cheaper, and with kind of stealth picks, if you stealth Yumu's, it's just so much easier to pick people. It's just an all-round better item if you want to lane or pick, go for picks versus a team fight. And it's not horrible in a team fight. It's not as good as Phantom Dancer, but it's not horrible.
Well, the thing is, when you've got the Yomu's active up, the Youmuu's Ghostblade actually has 176% gold efficiency. It gives a lot of statistics. It gives you a lot of move speed as well. So in a team fight, it does actually offer you more repossession options, especially on someone like Twitch, who has limited options to repossession as it is.
One of the viewers has just messaged me. He's watching the stream and he's learned a lot about builds and masteries and matchups, but they want to know a little bit more about gameplay, skill shots, dodges, and the map, how they cope, and if they miss a skill shot, and how to cope skill shots, and what you can see from the mechanics side of it as well.
Okay, so... Oh, go
on.
No, you go first.
A lot of the time, the mechanics, they just come down to practice. Hello. Really, it does. Mechanics, a lot of the time, just comes down to practicing and putting a lot of time into it. If you want to get good at hitting skill shots, what you need to do is just fire a lot of skill shots and watch yourself when you fire skill shots. Watch the enemy when you fire skill shots, because you can see if you fire a Morgana bind and the enemy dodges up and to the left, then you fire another bind and they dodge up and to the left, and they do that another time. You know that that person will dodge up and to the left, so you start firing your binds up and to the left of where you were firing them before, and they'll try and dodge, and you'll hit them.
Also, one thing about skill shots, not 100% of the time necessary to hit, making people move can be massive. Say, for example, if we take the mid lane, imagine it's just a normal lane phase. You've got your jungler, he's got some sort of range CC ability, say, I don't know,
Elise with the cocoon.
Elise with a cocoon. But obviously, they're playing in the middle of the lane. It's quite hard to hit, especially if they have some sort of dash. If you can fire a skill shot, that say Elise is in the top side brush, so on your left if you're a blue side, if you can fire a skill shot that forces your enemy lane to move left and into your jungle, that may be a missed skill shot, but that skill shot's still useful. You've pushed them into your jungler, who can then hit his skill shots on them. You can position versus hitting them sometimes can kind of weigh out.
Yeah.
Wow,
That was just a lot of miscommunication. They both went with their spell.
Oh.
I knew you was gonna hit that.
Are you guys okay with doing another one after this? I mean, if you don't, I can find somebody else to cover the next
No,
game.
it's fine.
Yeah, will do.
But yeah.
But
think
between
people
this
are-
and the next one, though, Tally, I need to grab a drink.
That is fine, because by the time we set up the next game and get going, that should give you a chance to get a drink. Plus, there's another one of the coaches wants to come and just have a bit of help, because obviously I think he covers a bit more mid lane, and that would give us a more.
If you can mid lane, that'd be good.
Yeah, he mid lanes and jungles, so it would give us more of an eclectic overview with a bot lane, top lane, you know, and obviously diamond players. So I think that'd be more beneficial to everybody as well. Hopefully it won't all clash, but I think we're doing okay so far.
Yeah, it should be okay. By the way, hello stream, I'm back. After
Nurse
my
Drew,
coaching
I've got
session.
to change my text now. Hold on. Nurse Drew's back.
But yeah.
The text on the stream saying who's coaching.
Yeah,
Nice
down to the
choice,
skill
Pat.
shots. Skill shots are a lot about practice and just about thinking about your enemies and what they do and what they're likely to do. A lot of the time you can see how someone's going to react just by thinking how you would react, because a lot of the time people have the same thought processes in games like these. So just think about what you would do in the situation. Chances are that's what your enemy's going to do in that situation.
Also, for 99.9% of skill shots, left and right, not backwards.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I can land so many Nami bubbles, is because predictively they move backwards, so I can land them.
Yep. Can I add a very small thing, which
Yep.
a lot of people in the lower elo don't think about? The fact that when you have to, like sometimes when you have to hit a skill shot, right? You're receiving a gank, or you're trying to get a kill.
I'm not sure what that Zonya's
holding-
was for.
It was to absorb the death mark damage so that she had more HP to carry on doing things.
Sometimes holding the skill shot can actually be more beneficial than firing it off, in the sense that people sometimes will dodge themselves into a corner, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense. That happens a lot, especially in very high elo. People
You
reach
see
like,
a lot of, like... Aaron, sorry, Chris.
No, it's fine, buddy.
No, you go,
You're
you
gonna
go.
say the same thing.
I was
know
giving an
that.
example. You carry on.
Yeah, people will literally like dodge themselves into a corner just because they'll be expecting it, they know it's coming, and they'll try to dodge it and dodge it and dodge it, and that means they are not walking a straight line to safety.
Straight
And
lines are the fastest way to get places.
Yes.
And if you can force people to walk in zigzags, you're just going to get closer and closer and closer to them, and eventually you might just be able to fire the skill shot point blank because they're
Yeah.
they're trying to zigzag and zigzag so that you don't hit them, but you're just going to hold the skill shot, and you're right next to them, and there's
Yeah.
no way that anyone can miss it.
And that
You see,
patience
there's a
is
hell
actually
of a
very
lot with Lee Sin ganks.
Yeah.
They're trying to dodge that Q before it comes out, and all he does is just walk at them and E them because they've just tried to dodge for a hell of a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same,
Exactly.
especially if you're playing Elise and you're on a level 3 gank and you've got your red buff. A lot of Elises you see, they walk into the lane and they fire the stun and they try and stun people. What good Elise will do is they will walk into the lane, they will
They'll
walk up
apply
to you,
the-
and they will apply the red buff.
Yeah.
And it's
And
the same
after you
principle.
flash is when they're gonna actually
Yeah.
try to hit the cocoon.
And that means you've blown your summers and you're still gonna die.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm back with some useful information.
Well, you can
Right.
teach not standing next to a wall. Yeah.
Walls
Especially
are very,
against
very
Fiddlesticks,
pretty.
don't stand next to walls.
Walls
Walls are
is a
dangerous.
very, very important place to be. You need to hug the wall.
I agree
That's
with you there, Venom. Teaching people to stand next to walls, especially with a Vayne in lane.
Nah,
Obviously-
no, especially with Vayne Alistair in lane, that's only how you die.
Yeah, as I said, it's very, I don't know. That's why I find it very difficult sometimes to coach, just because some of the stuff that me and Barnabas and Rick obviously, we take for common sense, if that makes, if you understand what I mean. Some people will actually find that useful, so it's very hard for us to put the right, to like give enough input, the right amount of input.
No,
just
no,
because some
I say
people
this
will-
quite a lot actually, and I'm glad I'm kind of here, because a lot of people at Diamond DLO don't take into account what it's like to be in bronze and silver, because there are some things that you just don't know, and there's some things you forget that you've learnt, and you do take them for granted now.
Yeah,
Simple
that's why I
things.
find it very, very hard to coach sometimes, because it's very hard to find this balance of not sharing just banal as just some useless information that everybody knows, while still like using your time correctly. If that makes any sense, it's very, very difficult to find that right balance for every
Well, that was a
single-
perfect engage from Fiddlesticks there. He managed to get the fear, but thing is, if Trist had watched the map there and seen that his teammates were coming up, he should have stayed and kept that engage.
Yeah.
Just
It's
not
very-
enough vision from the purple team still. Their team vision, not amazing, but they're starting to kind of. The one good thing, especially around this time, especially considering the mid tower's gone, is a big thing about this. Pushing wards slowly up in a line, slowly from like your half of the jungle to the river to their half of the jungle. It just allows you to create more aggressive plays if you can see what they're doing, so you can invade safely with knowledge of where they are.
Yeah. Another thing that I don't see in lower elo games is the substitute a tower with a ward. After a tower has gone, an enemy tower has gone, you just place a ward there. It's actually
Okay.
very beneficial.
I wanna
place-
talk
You
about
lose a
this
hell of a
right now.
lot of vision.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this right now because we're not going to get a chance to do it later, because there's a bit of a lull in the action. I've set this up, so let's talk about the item builds. I want to start with Yorick.
I just
and
want to
Fizz.
welcome Hackstar44 to the stream. I hate you for banning my Nami in the coaching games we had earlier. You are evil, but welcome to the stream.
Okay, I want to talk about the Seraph's Embrace, the Archangels on Yorick, because this is the first time we're going to get to talk about the full item builds, or the beginnings of the full item builds. I feel like this is not a good item. I feel like this does not offer Yorick nearly as much damage as the Muramana. Would
Most of his scalings are AD.
Most of his scalings are AD.
The only scaling good AP is the W.
It's the W. Yep, I said the
And
same
even then,
there.
the W's got the longest cooldown of every ghoul.
It might be
believe-
down
just
at
not
Harrods.
very
Yeah,
high.
it's 11.4 up there.
The Renekton's item build I feel was a bit dodgy as well, because what he did is backed, got Chain Vest and Giant Spell and Ionian Boots.
Yeah.
Your opinion on this?
He
Ionian
was
boots
very,
are
very
very-
winning the lane. What'd you say, Chris?
The Ionian boots are very weak on Renekton, because the damage, obviously cooldowns are very nice on him, having the cooldown reduction, but his trades, especially in lane, if he got the item in lane, it's not very efficient, because his trades, the only thing that these boots mean is that he can trade more often, that doesn't mean, like, by more often, I mean he has his cooldowns more often. That doesn't mean he can build enough fury to use the cooldowns correctly.
Yeah.
and that is the reason why you don't see that much cooldown reduction built on Renekton. The second thing I want to say is about this Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver
Yep.
is actually not that great anymore, just because of the change of the Blade of the Ruin King. Actually, Blade of the Ruin King is very, very good on Renekton nowadays, just because the W is multiple attacks, if people didn't know that. Like I said,
The unempowered W is 2 auto attacks, the empowered W is 3 auto attacks.
you can imagine the amount of damage you could get out of this if you use it correctly. And obviously the activation part is very big. Please to continue, Rick.
3 auto attacks with 8% of the target's current health is massive in a singular trade.
Yeah.
With the top laner.
So let's move on to the jungle builds. Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks
Yeah.
is built very standard. This is Fiddlesticks
Very
items.
standard
I'm not
build.
sure about the Rylai's that he's building.
Yeah, I don't see the Rylays. The Rylays, personally, I don't think is needed. People don't. If you get to them, people don't get away from Fiddlesticks. The problem is getting to them.
The problem is landing the good ult to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go
Udyr
for
with the
just a
Wit's End.
Rakdos. Udyr with the
Wit's End
End.
Frozen Heart.
I really do not like this. I feel like if you wanted more damage, you should have gone for the Trinity Force.
Yeah. I like the Frozen Heart. The Frozen Heart, I think, is a good item on Udyr.
Yeah, I do believe so, because it benefits hugely from cooldown reduction.
Cooldown reduction. A little bit of extra flat mana on Udyr is not the worst thing in the world.
The armor and the AS aura, especially versus
Yeah.
the Trist, is never a bad thing.
But I definitely think that the Wit's End should be a Triforce.
Yeah.
I
Obviously,
mean, the
Triforce
blue
is
team
more
are just
expensive.
walking through them here, but this is gold advantage. This is just they have more money, so they're going to trump them.
And to a degree, fight location. Twitch versus short but long corridors is kind of his playground.
And not only that, the Fiddle ult was very weak. Fiddle should always try to ult the whole team, especially since he already has Zhonya's
Zhonya's
ult
Zonias,
already.
you can get in there.
You can get in there. That's the whole reason you built the Zhonya's, is so you can go literally in the middle of the team without
not
being
die.
too afraid.
Someone else should
Fine.
really be tanking this Baron for Udyr.
Yeah,
'Cause if it
Udyr's
was
a bit low,
maybe-
Renekton
If
just
Tristana
get-
was actually there, she could have rocket jumped into that pit, taken him out, and rocket jumped back out, possibly before people can react, depending obviously on
And
how
not only
fast.
that, if they all came, if the jungler is dead, it's actually a coin toss who gets the Baron most of the time.
Because it's just one piece
Yeah.
of damage. You
Yeah.
can't
Quick
rely on
back
the...
to item builds. The mid laners. I'm personally pretty happy with the Zed build. Makes sense against his lane. Makes sense in terms of doing damage.
I
Everything.
don't like that he's finished the Maw of Malmortius now.
It's not a very efficient item in my
which-
opinion, and
Oh, I know,
especially
Welcome to the stream, King Yashi. Thank you for following. Enjoy your stay.
yeah, I was gonna go the bow.
Twitch is very out of position here. Like,
Yeah.
hugely out of position. This is madness. This is...
Yeah.
One thing about the Syndra build. There admittedly is not a massive amount of magic resist on the end team, but with the Void Staff possibly not even appearing in the build. Bit dodgy with that, a lack of magic pen, especially towards the end of the game, and it versus Morgana.
Yeah, I really feel like the voice staff should have come earlier.
Because if the supports were built, I don't really like the Morgana build at all. But if she was going something more like the Aegis of the Legion,
Yeah.
into the Locket of the Iron Solari, the magic
Then
penetration
Syndra would start having problems, especially
That's
versus
very
just the
weak way.
flat shields.
It was a very weak wave.
Yes, it was. But yeah, the Syndra could do with this Void Staff. It looks like she's not going to build it at all.
Which is very
questionable.
It's very questionable. The Twitch build has...
I don't like it. I really don't like it.
has
Right.
too much
So
attack
if you
speed and not enough AD.
If you go
if
for
he
the
wants to
blade
go for the
combos-
blade and the Phantom Dancer, if he wants to, I don't like the build personally, but there is some degree of viability to it. He needs to get the Last Whisper next and then the Infinity Edge, otherwise you just don't have enough damage. You've got a lot of attack speed admittedly, but you're just not doing any damage. You're attacking a lot to do nothing.
You've
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
little bit of a buffer from your ultimate because it's going to give you 36 AD, but you need to start getting like
But that's not a
People
Last
need
Whisper
to
on an
damage on top
Infinity
of it.
Edge.
People need to realize that the crit stat is only useful when you have that Infinity Edge and flat damage. Otherwise, it's not a cost-efficient stats.
If he's going for the Yumu's, he needs to cut out the Phantom Dancer, go straight bait into Yumu's, into
In
Infinity Edge, into
situations like
Last
this,
Whisper.
he needs to activate his Youmu's.
Yes,
he could
Yumu's
kill the
active.
guy.
The main part of Yumu's is the active.
Yeah.
And the price, but mainly the active.
He needs to lifesteal here.
But yeah, Tristana's build, I feel like the Last Whisper should have been after the IE and PD.
I don't feel like the Bloodthirster should feature at the moment. I would have stuck with the Vamp Scepter. Actually, no, that's a lie. Okay, so with Trist, one major thing you have to consider in PD versus Static Shiv is your rapid fire attack speed. You need a watch to not get overcapped. If you go for the IE, the PD, the Last Whisper, and then the Blade, you are overcapped in AS when you turn on rapid fire. However, if you go for IE Static Shiv, Last Whisper, then Blade, you are like 0.2 under the cap with rapid fire on. So the Static Shiv 1 gives you more burst, and your consistent damage is not really lacking on Tristana, so you don't really lose much from not having Phantom Dancer.
Yeah.
And you get the extra burst on that first auto, which can win a fight or discourage people from fight you if they see that big, like, one hit come out of you. They're like, I'm not fighting that guy.
Also, depending on how it goes, it can provide a little bit of extra wave clear for your team.
Yep.
Depending on the way the game's being set up.
Thing is, this is the problem with the biggest thing. I'm just going to point out with low ELO games is we are 40 minutes in. The blue team have got a massive advantage, and it's taking them this long to finish. This is the hugest problem in low ELO is they don't know when to finish, how to close a game.
It's not when. Blue team knows they can finish this game. They just don't know how.
Yeah, that's
right. This fucking like a run at their Nexus towers like blind lemons is retarded. Fucking retarded. What you do, you've got two inhibitors gone from the top side of the map. You walk to the bottom side of the map, you laugh as they try to defend the bottom side and their Nexus towers and then the Nexus whilst hitting their bottom side towers because they just can't do anything. You sit there and wait. That's all you need to do.
If you have minions pushing other lanes, you need to abuse those minions because super minions are really hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean look at them. Their health is already half health.
Gone.
You've got two different waves of super minions. That takes
and those
people
super minions buff each other.
If you have two
well.
super minions together hitting a turret, they actually buff each other a lot. Two super minions hitting an Nexus turret will take it very fast if you don't react. And a lot of the time, if you've got those waves of super minions going, you can push up this bot wave and start sieging the bot tower. If they send someone away, you can just literally click your fingers and dive them. Anyone who's got flash up and can start and engage can just go in and engage.
By the way, I have a question for you guys, if I can.
Yep.
It's about the Renekton.
Yep.
What did he build early in A? Was it?
He went on his first because he got first
It was
blood.
Sunfire.
It was Sunfire first, and then he went into the Brutalizer and then he finished the Brutalizer to do the Black Cleaver.
Black Cleaver, and then it was...
Then he got Hydra. No, he got Visage then Hydra. Sorry.
And the thing is, he was actually stomping the lane very hard, so I feel like he could have built the Hydra for just running first things.
Hydra after laning phase is not worth it because Hydra is a laning item.
It is a lane dominance item. He was also playing partially the split push game. He was split pushing up to their T2 turret, so I feel like the Hydra would have been beneficial for the wave clear in that situation as well.
The Hydra is used for Fury management. Most people don't realize that. It's so you are allowed to push without having to use your Fury. Wow, that was a very premature route. Anyway, back to... Sorry, kind of got...
There was a point in time when Twitch used to have a GA. The GA has been sold. Don't do that. Don't sell your items. Don't never sell your items unless you've got money to replace those items and you've got every other item of your build. Because if you sell it, that's stupid. You waste so much money. Like,
you
tons
only
of money.
get 70% of what you sell it for back. So that means if you sell that GA, you are going to get 2,030 gold back or something along those lines. It's 2,700 to buy the GA. You're basically giving away 700 gold of your advantage, unless you are
when you haven't finished other items as well.
If you're full build and you lose your GA and you have money to buy another defensive item, you can pick it up because the GA stats on their own are not that efficient. But don't sell your items before you're full build unless you have a really damn good reason to. You can obviously sell Doran's blades and those sort of items. But yeah.
Also, every single AD carry build at some point needs to involve a Last Whisper. It is a core item on every AD carry. You will always need it, especially past 30 minutes. If you don't have a Last Whisper, you don't do damage.
Yeah. I just want to talk about the support builds very briefly.
I was going to say very briefly because then you're going to need to go... Oh, excuse me. Give them feedback. Give me chance to lose hiccups, apparently. While I set up the next game. But people want a more Personal feedback. So when you go back and give people tips and stuff, personal ones.
The only problem last time with that, Tally, the difference in between games time-wise, I can't bring out personal feedback for 10 people in that time.
We couldn't actually
Mike,
get
I can try and give you 10 minutes, but like if you go now.
Tally,
Yes.
if you tell them at the end of the day, contact on TS, me, Chris, or Stu.
Well, I
one of
suppose
the
if
three
you
of us
guys
will
have got
explain
have you got
anything they
time
want to them.
after the next game, we'll do one more game
After
for
the
tonight.
next game, I've got plenty of time.
We'll sit in a chat and we'll do a massive answer and question session. Question and answer session. And we'll have a big chat about it, because I think there's a lot of pointers that you guys have made in the stream, which obviously will be uploaded, they can watch back, but if they can get immediate feedback now, that'd be really great. So what were you going to say about support items?
Yeah, just very, very briefly. No one has a Mikhail's Crucible. There's only one Aegis, and it hasn't been upgraded into a locket. You do not buy AP on supports. Supports do not utilize AP efficiently in any way, shape, or form. Morgana does not need AP. Was played as a mage at one point. It's not how you play her as a support. You build the support items, and you are there for your team. You use your ult in a defensive capacity to peel people off your AD carry. You hit the Dark Bindings to get picks, and obviously you need defensive support items. You need to have durability, because you want to be face tanking certain things for members of your team so that they don't have to take this damage. Same with Nami here, the Haunting Geist. Nami does not have that great base damage outside of lane phase. The Athenes, yeah, the mana regen's nice, but you get that from Mikhail's as well. Also, on Nami, you really want to be going the Spell Thief's Edge and not the Talisman. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so we can answer some questions briefly.
Do you want to move up to the events room then? And
Yeah.
Can we split the people up? For example, the top laners in a different channel, and the bottom, like the AD.
I
Or maybe
think
rotate
it's to speed things up, because obviously we haven't got time to do massive feedback. If you guys go up and just answer quick questions and give little bits of feedback as much as you can now, then once this game has finished, because it's the same people being rotated through 3 games, we can give a more objective overview to them all, because I'm trying to put them in the same roles. There's 1 or 2 differences, but you should be able to be more effective. It's just to speed things up, because obviously it is 11:30 in UK here now, which means I don't know what time it is everywhere else. Pushing another game, we're going to be pushing to nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, you know. And I've been personally coached all day. I have played 4 games all day where somebody